TIFU by getting too drunk to remember anything about the girl I was going home with. This was a couple of years ago. After a particularly heavy night out at uni, I went home with a girl who I'd met in the club. We were obviously both extremely drunk, and I don't really remember how I started talking to her or anything that was said between us, or anything about her at all. Not even her name. But soon enough we were in a taxi and going home. She still lived on campus and was more comfortable going to her place, so we did. She lived in typical uni accommodation that was basically just a long hallway of identical rooms. Fast forward to a few hours later, probably around 4 a.m., and we've both been passed out for a little while.
I woke up and desperately needed the toilet. She didn't have an ensuite, so I headed out into the hallway and found the bathroom a few doors down. I probably should have got dressed into more than just my bright orange boxers before going out into a building full of strangers, but I'm not very smart, so I didn't. I sat on the toilet for a little while and the room was spinning a lot because I was still smashed. Not sure how long I was there because I think I semi-passed out again, but eventually I got up and left the bathroom. This is basically where I realized I'd fucked up and started to panic. I looked up and down the hall at about 20 identical bedroom doors, and had absolutely no idea whatsoever which one was hers. I suddenly became painfully aware of the fact I was almost naked.
For about 30 seconds I was kinda in denial and kept telling myself that if I think hard enough then there must be a way out of this situation. Obviously I quickly realized there wasn't one, so I took a guess at one door that I thought was vaguely in the area I had come from. A girl in a dressing gown answered the door, looking extremely confused and a little scared at finding a stranger in his underwear knocking on her door at 4 a.m., so I quickly apologized profusely, and basically begged for some help finding the room I had come out of. Luckily she saw the funny side of it and was super friendly, so she said she was happy to help and asked what the name of the girl I had come home with was.
I didn't know what her name was, so I had to apologize profusely again for being such a scummy idiot that I didn't even know the name of the girl I had gone to bed with. Again she luckily saw the funny side of it and said it happens to the best of us, just tell me her hair color and I should be able to narrow it down from there. I couldn't even remember her hair color. I had a vague feeling that it was a dark color, so I said that, and she said, "Oh okay, I know who that will have been," and knocked on a door a few down from her own. Another confused and worried girl answered the door and asked her friend, "Why the hell are you knocking on my door at 4 a.m. and who is this almost naked boy?"
We basically repeated the process again, and the new girl said she knew who had been out tonight and almost certain which one of them would be the type to have come home with someone so clearly stupid as me. So she knocked on another door. Another random person answered the door. I wish I could say this went on even longer for comedic effect, but this last girl did actually know which girl I had come home with because they were friends. So finally she knocked on the correct door. The girl I had come home with answered the door and was very confused as to why I was out in the hallway with 3 of her friends. But they all quickly saw the funny side and had a good laugh about it while I just snuck back into her bed and buried my head in the pillow for a while. I still cringe when I think about it now. Thankfully I was so drunk at the time, because if I hadn't been I probably would have just died of embarrassment. TLDR. Got drunk and went home with a girl. Forgot which room was hers and got locked out in the hallway almost naked. Had to try 4 different doors before finding her. That girl who helped you sounds like a godsend. Oh, you must be with Sarah. She brings some drunken bloke back to her room every other night. Here's her door. Goodnight. Quote. If you weren't so drunk then you would have remembered the room. Or at least her name. But because you were drunk you were able to make it through the embarrassment. No wrong answer.
But did you ever figure out her name?
This is an excellent TIFU. Or a TIFS, tonight I fucked someone. In college I took a road trip with some friends and we started drinking about noon while playing stickball. This flowed into a party later and we all got wrecked. I hooked up with a young lady and went back to her place. After having some fun we both fell asleep naked in her bed. This is all very hazy. But I got up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom and got lost in the hallway naked. I finally found the room. Or so I thought. I hopped back in bed with her and cuddled up to her. Except, it was her housemate whose boyfriend was downstairs using that bathroom. Luckily, he was pretty cool about finding a naked guy in his GF bed and returned me to the right room. Grin. Which girl did you marry? Had something like this happen to me, but I confused the stairwell for the bathroom. Basically woke up to a locked door in my boxers. Had to go outside and knock on windows to find the right room or someone to let me back in. Not fun. Sounds like a dream. Tears of joy. In a hotel after an open bar wedding. I was partying in a room where I was invited to sleep because I didn't have my own. A girl drags me out of the room we're partying in. Me thinking I'm now heading to her room. Nope, she and her friend want food first. It's past 4 a.m. I'm trying to get lucky and pass the fuck out. I'm dead tired, so I ditch the girl and attempt to head back to the room I was originally offered to stay. I cannot remember the room number, yet alone what floor it's on. Worst part is my wallet, keys, and shoes are in that room. Yes, I was walking around the hotel barefoot. Long story short, my back car door was open. I slept in my car and the only luck I had was the next day my belongings were safely returned. The worst part was the girl I was most attracted to was in the room I was welcome to stay. Love this story. Honestly, this is fucking hilarious. This would be a great drunk uncle story at a barbecue. One of the best TIFUs yet. This happened to me once. But I left the house I stayed the night in. I realized a few streets away I'd left my phone. A few identical streets of suburban housing. I asked around, but without more information than a vague description of the dude's face there was no chance. Never did get my phone back. I liked the part where they quickly saw the funny side of it. Haha, this definitely sounds like something that could happen to anyone. I'm glad you were able to laugh about it in the end. And it didn't lead to an orgy? New Pornhub script. I laughed at every question you didn't know how to answer. Thanks for the story, haha. Damn, I miss college.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.